Hey everybody, welcome to my channel, Rocky Mountain Homestead with Angela. My name is Angela. A little bit about my channel before we start the collaboration. I am a mom of 8 kids. I have homeschooled for 9 years. We have a small homestead up here in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado. We have harsh climates, so I try to do my best to grow what we can without a greenhouse. We have animals as well. We try and bake from scratch, cook from scratch as much as we can, especially with our homeschool day. We get really busy. So a lot of my channel has recipes that are tried and true, that work for kids, that work for large families. I always put the recipe in the description, the regular amount, not the double the amounts that I do. So I like to share recipes. I also have canned, and that's water bath canning, pressure canning for the past couple years, as well as dehydrating, which is another reason I'm very thankful to be invited onto this collaboration. I think it's going to be really fun, and I think it's a wonderful idea to do this right before the holidays and inspire others and give them ideas of what they can do for gifts. As far as that, my channel is going to be mainly about, I have grocery hauls. It's going to be about homeschooling, encouraging moms, clean with me's, homesteading animals, raising them, the butchering process, the whole 9 yards, different tips and tricks, organizational skills throughout the home, all kinds of things. I have a long-term pantry, a working pantry, so also going to be videos on food storage because I have practiced that for the past couple years. I am very thankful for Linda over at 2 Lilu Creates. She is hosting this collaboration at 2 Lilu Creates. I'm not sure who else is going to be in this collaboration, but I'm going to go ahead and tag her in this video, and there will be a list and she will add me to it, of all the different YouTubers that are going to be joining this collaboration. I think this is really fun, especially the topic. This collaboration is going to be for dehydrated gifts. Gifts that you can dehydrate and give away for Christmas presents. There's such a wide variety to choose from. There's so many great ideas, and it was kind of hard to pick one a little bit. I kind of already knew what I would be doing, but you could make your own ornaments. There's just, it's endless, the amount of gifts that you can actually make. But for me and for my husband, and I know my kids, one of our favorites that I make on occasion is beef jerky. So I'm going to go ahead and take you guys along from start to finish. I'm going to show you how I do my marinade. I'm going to show you the process of dehydrating, and it's already really late at night, so I'm hoping I can just get this video out on time. I won't share what time it is. It's a crazy hour, but I got a good couple hours to wait on this in the dehydrator once I get started. So I'm going to let it marinate. If I had the time yesterday, I would have just done the video yesterday, so it was already ready to go. It didn't work out. We'll just add in here, I would normally marinate the steak for at least a couple hours, if not 24 hours. Every time I make it, it's usually between at least 6 to 24 hours. Tonight, I'm literally just going to marinate it for 30 minutes, all for the sake of being able to get this video posted on time. I'm going to marinate mine for 30 minutes, but I would highly recommend, if you have the time and can do it in advance, try and get at least 6 hours minimum for those flavors to really sink in there. It's delicious. This is such a delicious recipe. It's so simple. And then we're to show packaging as well. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to package this. There's going to be other things in that gift basket as well, but I'm going to take you along for the whole process nonetheless. So let's get started. The dehydrator that I'm going to be using, I have been using this for years and I love it. I would highly recommend this. I know there's so many different options out there, but we are a large family and this gets a lot of use and abuse, and it's been faithful and it still runs perfectly. So this is the Excalibur Food Dehydrator. This is a 9 tray, and oh, so many things have been dehydrated in this. I think it's more than paid itself off. So if you have not learned to dehydrate, I highly suggest you give it a try. Invest in, just a small one to get you started. It's so nice to just have it ready to go on the shelf, produce, whatever you dehydrate, just for convenience sake. It's a blessing to know this skill. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to take you along and I'm going to show you the marinade that I make for my steak. All right, so these seasonings can also be tweaked however you'd like. If you want something a little sweeter, you can add a little bit of brown sugar to this or honey. You can adjust things how you like. For us, we get usually a 2-pound flank steak. You can use eye of round, you can use top round, you can even use London broil. I always hands down go with flank steak. That's what I make our street tacos with when I do carne asada. It's a perfect cut of meat. So get whatever you want, 2 pounds at least of that. And then with the marinade, you're going to need half a cup of soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, 2 teaspoons of coarsely ground black pepper, 1 teaspoon of liquid smoke. And then in here I have about a teaspoon of onion powder. I have a teaspoon of seasoned salt and a teaspoon of garlic powder. So let's go ahead and get started. You'll also need a cutting board and a sharp knife. Okay, for convenience, if you'd like, you can go ahead and freeze your steak for about, I don't know, 15-20 minutes. So it's a little bit easier to cut. It's a little bit more firm, but I am just going to use mine as it is. You're going to go ahead and open it up. So as you can see here, you can see the grain of the steak. My advice, if you cut with the grain, okay, if you cut with the grain, it's going to be chewier. Some people like tender cut beef jerky. Some people like it chewy. It's completely up to you. If you want it a chewier slice, you're going to go ahead and cut with the grain. If you want it more tender, you're going to go ahead and cut against the grain. Or you can do a combination of both and just try and remember which pieces you cut. You also want to go ahead and try and get your slices as thin as possible. I'd say between 1/8 to 1/4 inch. Some pieces might be a little thicker, but so it comes out just right and it evenly processes in the food dehydrator. You can just go ahead and cut it, I'd say, between those thicknesses. So I always try to aim either at least between 1/8 to 1/4 inch slice. I'm going to go ahead and just cut this in half, and I am going to do a little bit of each. I'm going to do a chewier slice and a more tender slice. So once again, about 1/4 inch max. So between 1/8 and 1/4 inch. And this is pretty much what it should look like. Not too thick. And you're going to go ahead and continue doing this and slicing it until you are through. Also, just a little note, try and trim off any fat that you see around the edges. You really don't want that on there. Yeah, just trim away any, add a little bit on the side. So I just cut it off. But anyway, I will take you back when I'm done cutting this up. All right, you guys, so I have a bag here marked chewy for the cut with the grain, and then tender for the cut against the grain. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is basically put all your ingredients together for the marinade. Now, because I did 2 different cuts, I'm gonna have to remake the marinade again, but this is gonna be for 1 bag. Put in our pepper and then all our seasonings. Now, go ahead and just take a whisk and whisk it up, or you can just put all your ingredients in the bag with the steak and kind of knead it around and incorporate it that way. But I'm just going to do it like this. I'm going to take the chewier cut first, pour the marinade in. And like I said, this is really versatile. You can add sugar or honey if you want it a little sweeter. You don't have to add the liquid smoke. That's completely optional. Actually, I see some of the seasonings in here, so it's probably best to just put it all in the bag. I'll just work it on out with the spatula. There we go. You're going to seal up your bag, let the air out. Kind of knead it around a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and get this one in the fridge while I make up the other marinade and get this marinating and clean my counter. And I'll be back when it's ready to go in the dehydrator. All right, so we have our bags. They are marinated. It's been about 30 minutes. So what's tricky here is the Excalibur directions. And even in some of their recipes, this is not one of their recipes, but it says dehydrate and dry at 155 degrees. And then over here, it says their beef jerky, 165 degrees. And then in this book, which I turn to a lot, it says 160 degrees for 6 to 8 hours. I am going to tell you right now, the directions I go by and the directions I always follow, especially when it comes to meats or, things like that. I follow my dehydrator's manual. So there's different things that'll give you different times. There's different websites that will give you different times. I always say, do your own research, check your manual for your machine. So I am going to go ahead and do 155 degrees. I guess it'd help if I turn the time on, huh? And what I'm going to do, so drying time will be within 5 to 12 hours, my manual says, depending on the thickness of your slices. We did it kind of thin. So I'm going to go ahead and start my timer at about 6 hours and go up from there. I'm now realizing this is going to be a morning thing with the hour that it already is. So I'm going to have to wake up early. This video might be out a little bit later than they're wanting. I apologize. I should have done this in advance. It just wasn't possible. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set my timer for about 6 hours. That's where, and I'm going to go a little bit over because I'm going to load these onto the tray. I always like to get my machine started first. And so the thicker the slice, the longer the drying time, and your beef jerky will be done when it bends and cracks but does not break. Just to show you, the top row is my tender cut, and then the rest are the chewy ones. You want to space them. You don't really want them touching. You want them flat so they cook evenly, and mine are all flat. So, well, actually, we'll fix that one a little bit. No, that one is flat. It's just curved. So, okay, that is what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead put our lid on, and I just took out these extra trays just for some headspace. And then you are going to set your dehydrator according to your manual. Mine is at the 6-hour mark. So in 6 hours, I'll come check it, see where it's at, and we'll either pull it or add more time. All right, we are in my homeschool room. I just got done doing a grocery haul. I put the cold stuff away, but had to get started on the beef jerky. So what I'm going to do is, to save some time in the morning when I got to get up before I post this, I'm going to start putting the gift basket together right now. And hopefully the lighting's not too horrible, but it's nighttime. It's dark out. So I'm going to go ahead and get the filler in first. Okay, once you've kind of fluffed your filler up a bit, usually I would have a much smaller basket. I did a pickup order and I obviously didn't measure it first. So that just means I'm going to have to fill it with more things. What I'm going to do is, I got this Brewers 6-pack. I'm just going to put some of these hot sauces in. These look really good. We love hot sauce. We have Chipotle hot sauce, jalapeno, cayenne hot sauce. And then on the other side is habanero hot sauce, spicy fuego, which is Mexican style, obviously. And then American Valley garlic hot sauce. I was really happy to see these at Walmart when I did my online order. I'm curious to try some for us too. So I might go back and get another one. And then I'm going to try my best to pronounce this. Engelhofer sweet hot mustard with honey. This had such good reviews, so I figured, come on, it goes with the theme of the basket. This was wrong. They substituted. It was supposed to have 3 different cheeses, 3 different summer sausages, and 3 packs of wheat crackers, and instead they substituted and gave me all of this. So I kind of need to refigure how I was going to do my gift basket. So I have no plan. I'm doing this right with you. I'm going to probably have to rearrange it a few times and see what I want to keep in the basket and what not. Anyway, just a fun little, basket of foods that, of course, any man would love and enjoy. And I'm also going to, of course, be putting the beef jerky in. I'm going to do the chewy version and the tender cut. I'm going to show you how I'm going to package it tomorrow in the morning when I get up and it's finished. Also, on a side note, I'm going to turn around and use my dehydrator again, and I'm going to do a delicious blend of different nuts, because I got those in my grocery haul too. Different nuts. I'm going to season them myself using the dehydrator. So I'm going to turn around as soon as that beef jerky is done, and I am going to post another video following up, showing you an additional item that is going to use my dehydrator once again to complete this gift basket. They're delicious. If you guys want to follow for that video, go ahead and do so. It will be posted probably by tomorrow evening. This one will be posted in the morning for the beef jerky. Anyway, good morning. There's going to be a bit of a glare because the sun is coming in. It is early. I need to get this. That's why the kids are having cereal. I'm like, nope, I got to finish this video. So the beef jerky is done. Oh my gosh, my house smells incredible. This is the top row. That was the tender cut. And all these other rows are chewy. I am so excited to get this packaged up. I'm just letting this sit. The dehydrator just shut off. And I'm going to show you what, that one's empty. I'm going to show you what to be looking for doneness. All right, you guys, I'm going to show you this as best as I can. I hope the lighting's good to show you. So when checking for doneness, if it's obviously wet, you don't want it wet, so you would dehydrate it longer. But do you see when I break that or bend it? You see that white inside? That's the doneness, and that's how you can tell it's done. This piece is actually, it's got a kick to it. Woo! That pepper. You want, when you bend it, you want it to crack, but you don't want it to be so dry that it breaks. So here's another piece I'm just going to show you. This is a thicker piece. It's a bigger piece. You're going to bend it. I'm really trying to get this to focus, I promise. And see how it cracks but it does not break. And you see that whiteness inside. So this is done as well. All right, you guys, before I package this, I figured I'm going to take you guys and show you the National Food Preservation website just to show you guys. So for storing the meat when it is finished, it does say you can package in glass jars or heavy plastic food storage bags. Vacuum packaging is also a good option. And as far as for storing the jerky, properly dried jerky will keep at room temperature for 2 weeks in a sealed container. For best results and to increase the shelf life, maintain best flavor and quality, refrigerate or freeze the jerky. So I will tell you personally what we do. I just usually put mine in a mason jar with a regular screw cap lid. I don't even, suck the air out of it with the food saver attachment to vacuum seal it because we go through it pretty quickly. Depending on how much I make, I've had it the longest at room temperature for about a week and a couple days, and it's been totally fine. So always do your research, but I just wanted to show you guys that. I know some people say you can't leave it at room temperature. Some things say you can leave it in the pantry for up to a month and it's fine. I usually go to things like this and do my research and just follow the guidelines for what they recommend. But I will say that is how we usually store it. And because this is a gift, I'm going to debate whether I'm putting them in mason jars that are airtight or if I'm going to be doing them in a food saver bag. Okay, so for packaging, you have 4 different options. If you own a food saver, you can put it in one of these bags, which I don't care for as a gift. It'd be great for personal use. You can put the date that you made it and what it is. But as for a gift that isn't really attractive, you can go ahead and put it in one of these clear food saver bags and just label it down here where that's a little bit less noticeable. You can also, once you put it in here, put some filler in a tin like this. And inside, you don't even have to put filler. It's got a cute little design on the bottom. You can put your beef jerky in here, cut it to size, or put some filler in and put the bag on top and seal it and put a little bow on it. You can also do this, and you can put them in a mason jar. And you can go ahead and fit it with either one of these mason jar lids, which I know that's a bowl lid and this is a cure jar. This is just a jar I'm doing for show because I'm not storing it this way. And you can go ahead and put it in this, and then you can vacuum seal it with your food saver attachment for an airtight seal. Or you can just use one of these plastic screw-on caps that seal it off as well. All right, so I got my packaging done, and the way I just did it is I put it in a mason jar. I didn't like the way it looked personally in a food saver bag, and I put the lid on airtight. When you do package your meat, once it has cooled off, you want to blot any grease spots or little beads of grease off of it. That's what the National Food Preservation site says. So just do that before you store it. But I think it looks so much prettier. I know there's kind of a glare in here. Oh gosh, let's see. I just think it looks prettier in a mason jar now. Just to show you, if I was not already doing a gift basket and I was just giving beef jerky as a gift, what I would do is put a little bit of some twine and tie it in a bow like this. And me personally, I would just keep it simple and kind of rustic looking. You could even, if you had time, make a label. I have some brown labels from my candle business I used to have, and you could print it and personalize it yourself if you're really crafty and you have the time to. You can also get a strip of a bow or burlap or a bow ribbon, and right here, what I used to do with some of my candles, because they were in mason jars, you can wrap hot glue ribbon around this part and just decorate it however you'd like. Once again, for me, I'm pretty simple and basic, so I would just slap this on it, some twine, and call it good, and put it in a gift bag or something. But you can most definitely label it if you want. You can even go as far as put in the ingredients, who it's from. You could put a bow on it. That's how I would do it. So Another thing, if you are making a gift basket, that beef jerky would be a perfect thing to add to it. Like I said, I'm going to do some seasoned nuts here. You can take, I'm also going to make some fudge, but you can, you know, throw cookies in here, peanut brittle. You don't even have to make it. You can buy it. You can just, you know, throw some candies around it and just kind of jazz it up a little bit however you'd like and personalize it yourself. That is what I am doing. And when I'm done, I'll put cellophane around it and put a big bow or ribbon wrapped around it with a bow on top. And I will have a video on the final product when I am done all the things. I still have to make the fudge, the peanut brittle, and the seasoned nuts in my dehydrator. So, all right, everybody, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you checking out my channel and this recipe. I hope you guys give it a try. It's absolutely delicious. And if you don't gift it or make it for somebody this Christmas, I hope you guys at least give it a try for yourselves. It's so easy to follow. The only hard part about it is waiting for it to be done to enjoy it. That's the only hard part here for it. So I also want you guys to check out the other creators and their channels and see what they are going to be making for gifts this Christmas. Thank you, Linda, for hosting and taking over this collaboration. I appreciate it, and I appreciate the fact that you let me join on it as well. If you guys want to follow my channel, I want you guys to go ahead and click that subscribe button. There's going to be a ton of other recipes coming up. Canning recipes, dehydrating recipes, regular recipes, as well as a ton more content. Anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas season with your friends, your family, your loved ones. And until then, this is Angela from Rocky Mountain Homestead and my 3-year-old son with his truck. I will see you guys on the next video. Until then, take care. God bless. Merry Christmas.